Do you know the difference between an opinion and a fact? It seems more and more that people are having trouble telling the difference between what they think and what is true. So I want to talk about that. If you are having a thought, it is not a fact. If you are thinking of a polar bear, it is unlikely that there is a polar bear there. Polar bears exist in reality. What you're doing when you think of a polar bear is having a neurological experience, a biological process. Your heart beats, your brain thinks. So nothing that's happening in your head is a fact. You might have a fact outside that is true. For example, they're doing construction down the street, digging up the road. Sometimes I can hear it. That is a fact. Now, my thoughts about it have nothing to do with the facts. They're my own internal dialogue, my own inner experience. So if I hear a noise or you hear a noise, that is a neurological phenomenon. If you have a thought about the noise, that is also a neurological phenomenon. And we'll tell a story, our brain loves stories, about whatever's happening. We do this a lot with memories. When we think about something that happened in the past, like looking at yesterday's news or reminiscing about a happy memory or a sad memory, again, those are facts that occurred at another point in time. And what's happening in the moment is simply neurological experience. It is not fact. I'm hoping everybody can kind of wrap their head around this different way of relating to thoughts. What you think is not a fact. It's just one neuron firing across a synapse, being picked up by another neuron and spread out across your brain in what's often a predictable pattern. You ever have the same thing you tell yourself over and over, your same insult or your same, oh well, or Ms. Jones always said to me, morning glory. Now I say that over and over to my son every morning, morning glory. It's a neurological phenomenon that I think that, and I am inclined to say it. It's a habit now. So, a fact and an opinion are completely different things. An opinion is a neurological phenomenon articulated and expressed through the symbols of words. And there is no way that your neurological phenomenon is the same thing as an external fact. If only everyone would kind of be able to relate in this way, there would be much less confusion about right and wrong. So facts are science, right? I see a lot of signs hanging up that say, I believe in science, or people with t-shirts that say, I believe in science. Good. And science exists, the laws of nature, the facts of like how things work medically, they exist whether or not you believe them, whether or not you think about them. They are facts. Facts about the environment are facts. What you think about those facts is your opinion, is your neurological experience of taking in some information, processing it, and outputting it. That's all thinking is. Input, manipulation, and output. Facts exist about the earth. What you think about them is still not a fact. Any thoughts? Let me know in the comments. It is incumbent upon us to learn to think in a way that recognizes what we're doing. We are thinking, we're having a neurological phenomenon, a biological process when we're thinking. And it is also incumbent upon us to be educated and aware of facts that exist in the world. A memory is a type of thought. It is not a fact. You might be thinking about a really cool conversation you had yesterday. It is not a fact. It's true that on another day, in another place, you had a conversation you enjoyed. That happened in the past. It's gone. It's not here anymore. The thing that lingers is the biological process of savoring it, enjoying it in some capacity. If you think about people arguing against science, they are confusing facts with an internal neurological process. And then they clump together with other people who have this same inner neurological process or the same assumptions. They find people that relate to that idea for whatever reason, or they follow someone who believes that. And it does not change the fact whatsoever. Here's another example. People will confuse what you've learned in school. I know some of you all and your degrees, looking at the list of people here, your education and your expertise, they'll confuse that with their opinion, and they will consider that their opinion is the same thing as your expertise in your education. Their opinion is the same as your opinion. That is equal. But people will start to confuse an opinion with expert education, training, lab training, etc. And what I want for all of you is to recognize it when people are confabulating those two things. They're confusing their opinion with fact or an expert, and not to do it yourself. And we can all have these inner strong reactions with our emotions. And we might tend to believe something stronger because we have an emotion attached to it. We have a personal experience with something, so we believe it's true in some external way as well. And we can really get messed up when we start to just follow people who are sharing their personal experiences and their beliefs instead of sharing evidence, facts, education, training. And there's a lot of people doing a lot of yelling on their social media. They're typing away or they're creating these videos that are their opinion, and they feel very strongly when they share their opinion, and it sort of is contagious. So I want you to be able to insulate yourself from people saying opinions, and also make sure that what you're expressing is like very clear to you. Are you talking about your opinion? Are you talking about something you read, what an expert said, or what your favorite poet wrote? It's not all about science. It's all about knowing the difference between thinking and reality. And here's how all of this ties into our personal mental health. When we are very clear that we're having a neurological phenomenon of thought, it becomes so much easier to make contact with the present moment, to respond with intention and with values in mind to whatever is happening. If we are clear about what thinking is, we can quit just having these knee-jerk reactions of upset anytime something uncomfortable crosses through your body. Traffic, someone saying something, reading something. You can have a measured, considered, value-based response to the things happening in your life. And that experience in and of itself has been shown to decrease our mental distress, lower symptoms of mental health disorders, and allow us to live a life that we feel proud about. So drop some comments in the chat and let me know how you're going to take care of yourself to be aware of the difference yourself between thought and fact, and then how to recognize it in others. Are they sharing thoughts and opinions, or are they sharing information that's generalizable, understood, and actually true? Let me know what you think. I will see you same time every week on Instagram Live at Dr. Amy Vakos. We are the Modern Creative Woman, and we are talking about the art and science of creativity.